This video is brought to you by Soundcore. I've never had this much fun with a speaker. So the Soundcore Rave3S is an AI karaoke party speaker, the world's first, I believe. And as soon as I unboxed it, my girlfriend and I just karaoke for hours. It just never stopped. It's a good time. Now this speaker is packed with features. You get 200 watts of sound with a 6.5-inch sub for deep bass, spatial audio, you got party lights, you can connect a wide microphone, a guitar, or use the 2 included wireless mics. And just with a touch of a button, AI will remove the vocals from any song in real time for the ultimate karaoke experience. Now I've been testing this speaker vigorously for over a week and also tested it at an actual party. I've also got tons of indoor and outdoor sound samples. I actually compared it to the JBL PartyBox 310. Not really a fair comparison, but you'll be surprised how well the Rave3S holds up. Now the retail price of this speaker is $349 US. If you want to grab the speaker, there's a link down in the description. Now before we get into the sound, the lights, the karaoke, all that fun stuff, let's start with the main features here. So let's start with the actual build of the speaker. So it weighs 10.5 kilos, just over 23 pounds. That's with the microphones clipped on the back as well. So it's not light, but it's way easier to carry compared to my PartyBox 310. When I took both speakers to a field to do my max volume testing, carrying that PartyBox just killed me. You can see I'm dripping with sweat here. The Rave3S is a manageable size to carry for even a pretty long distance. Now the build is what I've usually seen from Soundcore, so you get a basic hard plastic finish, a nice metal grille on the front of the speaker, some nice grip if you want to have the speaker lying on its side, and the overall build is sturdy. I'd say it's just behind in overall feel and quality to the JBL PartyBox. Now on the back of the speaker, you have 2 slots for the wireless mics. Each is powered by 2 AA batteries, and they connect instantly when you first turn them on. There's no pairing required. You've also got a flap on the back which will hide all your connections. So you can hook up a wide mic or guitar and control the volume there. You get some gain in there as well. Here's a quick sample of what it sounds like.
Just the guitar with the speaker.
You can also connect any device via the auxiliary input, and you have a USB-C port to charge the speaker. You can't use this USB-C port to charge other devices, which you can do on some of Soundcore's smaller speakers. But the speaker itself is IPX4 water resistant, so fine if it gets some splashes of water on it, some light rain, just avoid dropping it in a pool or something like that. It might survive, but avoid it. Now when it comes to battery life, Soundcore advertised 12 hours of playback. That's gonna be at 50% volume though, with no lights on and no bass up or extra features on. So in my real world test at my mate's 30th birthday, had the speaker playing at around 70% volume, and after about 3 hours, the speaker was at about 50% battery. So you can expect about 6 hours at 70% volume. If you're gonna be cranking this at 100%, you're probably gonna get 2 to 3 hours, which is usually what you get for this type of party speaker. My JBL PartyBox is the same, 2 to 3 hours at 100% volume. So when the speaker was just under 50% volume, I plugged it in via USB-C, and then I had the speaker playing at about 100% volume for another like 4 to 5 hours. And with the charging brick I used, it was only 30 watts. The speaker stayed at about 20 to 30% battery, so it wasn't charging. Keep in mind, you only get a USB-C cable included. You get no power brick. Now, when it comes to connectivity, you're getting Bluetooth 5.3 here, as well as SBC and AAC for your codecs. So overall, it's a stable connection. Even watching videos on my iPhone 15 Pro, there's barely any latency. You can also have 2 devices connected to the speaker at the same time, and it uses multi-point switchover. So if you play music on one device, it's automatically gonna pause on the other device. Now in the party setting, I had my phone and someone else's phone connected to the speaker, and sometimes like it wouldn't really switch over well and then the music would pause. So if you're in a party setting, it might be best to just use one phone connected to the speaker. But this speaker is also Auracast enabled. So basically you can have 2 of these speakers connected in stereo mode. So you get your left and right audio channel. That'd go off in a party setting for sure. If you want to connect even more speakers, you can go up to 100, I believe. They're gonna all work in mono mode, but 100 of these connected would be pretty interesting. Now on the top of the speaker there, you have all your controls, your basic stuff, play, pause, track forward and back, your volume dial, a reverb dial for the wireless mics, your AI vocal removal button, which is also on the wireless mics. That bass up button will boost the bass and overall wattage of the speaker. You have your Auracast button, as well as the light button. So now let's talk about the party lights. So you can control the lights right on the speaker with 8 different modes. Just keep pressing and it will cycle through, or hold down the button to turn the lights off. You can also jump into the app for more control. So you can adjust the strength of the lights, as well as create your own custom setup with individual colors. You can go pretty crazy in there and get some very experimental combinations. So you can really nail down the kind of vibe you're looking for with your party. And as you can see here, in a party setting, I think the lights look really nice. So now that you have your party lights ready to go, it's time to get that voice going. And jumping straight into singing is super easy. Just hold down the power button on your mic and you're good to go. No wires needed, which in a party setting is vital because I've used my JBL Party Box 310 for years now. I had a wired mic connected to that speaker one night. Someone tripped over the wire and then the connection broke inside the input. So that input is now not in use. Wireless is the way to go. Now the actual build quality of the mic is nothing special, but it gets the job done. You have 8 clicks of volume on each mic, which is separate to the volume of your music. The lowest volume is still relatively loud, but the mics go very loud. Now the actual quality of the mic pickup is not amazing. I noticed a bit of static noise, kind of white noise as soon as you start to speak or sing, but like basically when you have music playing, you're not really going to notice it. Here's a quick sample.
As you can see, when you start to speak, it kind of has a bit of, I don't know, static noise when you start to sing. So you could technically sing and play guitar at the same time, which I'm not going to do because I can't sing.
If you really want the best microphone quality, I connected up a random microphone I have, and you're going to get better quality. You're not going to get that static sound. But just like that, you're good to go. You can start singing your favorite songs. But it's not until you chuck on that AI voice removal that things start to get serious. Now you're singing in expert mode. So you can activate this on the speaker with a touch of a button, or on the mic you have more customization. So one click will completely cut out all the vocals, and it does so very well. Keep pressing though, and that'll allow you to hear a little bit of the vocal. And this AI voice removal will work if you have your device connected via Bluetooth or auxiliary. Here's a quick sample of how it works. Pretty impressive. So just using the microphones and the speakers, you're basically good to go. But if you want some more customization, you can jump into the app. So in there you get some vocal enhancer options, basically some EQ presets of what your voice is going to sound like. Play around with it, you get some different options in there. I found the neutral setting was the best for me. There's also an auto guide vocal option. So this will work that when you start singing, it's going to cut out the actual vocal from the song. Say you forget the words, it'll slowly kind of bring the vocals back in so you can get back into your rhythm, and as you start singing again, the vocals will slowly cut out. It's not perfect, it's not incredibly smooth. Sometimes it will take about 5 seconds for the vocals to kind of come in and then go back out, but it's a pretty cool feature to have. Overall, for the first implementation of AI voice removal in a speaker, it's pretty seamless. Now, I was never big on karaoke until I visited my girlfriend's family in the Philippines, the land of karaoke, and well, I was hooked instantly. So if you're a bit unsure about karaoke, go to the Philippines or get this speaker. You'll come around. But before you do, you're probably wondering what's actually most important about a speaker, and that's how it actually sounds. Does it sound good? Is it actually loud enough for a party setting? So like I said, I brought this along to my friend's 30th birthday recently, and I had it set up in an outdoor setting in a pretty large backyard, kind of in the corner of the courtyard there. Even with about 20 people yelling their hearts out to some classic songs, it's not gonna blow your socks off in terms of the amount of volume that you have. Like, the more people you have, the more bodies, the louder the speaker needs to be. So you're still gonna be able to hear the music coming out of the speaker very well, and everyone's incredible singing. So I found myself, even being like 5 meters away from the speaker, if I'm talking to someone nearby, I'm having to yell quite loud. So Soundcore advertised that you get 108 decibels at max volume, which is gonna be loud enough for about a 20-person party. If you're going towards like 40 and 50 people, I'd say it's not gonna be loud enough. You might require 2 speakers, then you'll be good to go. But now onto the actual setup of the speaker. It's quite interesting because you get 3 2.5-inch full range drivers and 1 6.5-inch sub. Total wattage is 200 watts, and that's gonna be with the bass up mode on. The bass up mode will obviously boost the bass, but increase the overall power. And to get the most wattage out of the speaker, it doesn't need to be plugged in. If you plug it in at max volume, it's gonna be the same as what it's like on battery. Now, I'm no speaker design expert, but here's why I think it's a very smart design. So usually speakers at this size will have 2 5-inch woofers, maybe chuck in 2 tweeters in there as well. That's probably the maximum amount of size of drivers you can fit in a cabinet this size. But the downside of having 2 5-inch woofers is that bass can only hit so deep. You need a bigger speaker for deeper bass. So Soundcore opting for just 1 6.5-inch sub means you get some very impressive deep bass. Soundcore advertised it as low as 40 Hertz, but I was hearing some 35 Hertz action in my bass test. I was also a bit skeptical with the lack of any tweeters, but those 3 mid-range drivers push out some impressive treble. The nature of those smaller drivers doesn't give you the best instrument separation, so the upper mids are slightly recessed. I noticed this subtly with things like instrumentation like distorted guitars, percussion, keys, synths in electronic music. You still get nice detail, but I'm just nitpicking here, and this was comparing it to the Partybox 310, a much larger speaker. The slightly recessed upper mid-range can be tweaked in the EQ, you can boost it, and this does help a bit. I'd say the standout though of this speaker, for its size, is the impressive bass. It hits deep with no distortion issues, even at max volume. It can definitely be a bit much in a smaller room, especially with the bass up mode on, but you can just tweak this in the EQ. That balanced EQ preset is going to be more suitable in a smaller room. You have some options in there. You can just tailor it to whatever you like, really. Vocals are another standout though. They're rich, they're natural, and not over the top or shouty, which makes sense. This is a karaoke speaker. You want the vocals to be the standout. So now let's run through some indoor and outdoor samples so you can hear the sound for yourself. Like I said, I'm comparing this to the JBL Partybox 310, the only other party speaker that I actually have. Definitely not a fair comparison, but I gotta compare it to something. Otherwise, if you just hear the sound test of one speaker with nothing to compare it to, there's no point running a test. So the Partybox 310 is 7 kilos heavier. You get 40 watts of extra power. They use 2 6.25-inch woofers. But again, I was very impressed how well the Rave 3S holds up. So let's actually start here with one of the Rave 3S exclusive features, and that's the spatial audio. So this works with the speaker on its side and kind of makes the sound more expansive and open. With some songs it's okay. Most of the time I noticed it added a kind of strange treble effect and a lot of reverb. Here's a quick sample so you can hear it for yourself. All right, now let's start with the indoor sound test. Both speakers here are at about 50% volume. The Rave 3S has their bass up mode on. The Partybox 310 has their bass boost mode on. Both have no EQ customization as well. Now in these samples, you should be able to hear that slightly better instrument separation that the Partybox 310 has. You can kind of get the idea of that slightly over the top on the boomy side bass from the Rave 3S. But like I said, you can just dial it down slightly in the EQ and it becomes a lot cleaner. But overall, I think the Rave 3S holds up very well, so here are the samples. right now onto the outdoor max volume testing. Both speakers at 100% volume. The Partybox 310 goes about 3 decibels louder. As you can kind of see here, this was recorded about 5 meters away from the speaker. So not a dramatic difference in volume, but noticeable. And the Partybox does sound fuller and a bit richer when you go to those max volumes. But again, the Rave holds its ground, and I think it kind of gets a slight edge in terms of treble detail. I don't think this comes across very well on the samples, but here they are anyway. So there you go. Overall, I had a great time testing the speaker. It sounds solid. You might be able to find a better sounding speaker kind of at the similar size, but you're definitely not going to be getting these party features. That's what this speaker is targeted for: parties, karaoke. It's just a good time. This is by far the most fun I've had reviewing an audio product on this channel. It's definitely worth the money. So if you're interested in grabbing one, check out the link down in the description below. If you're interested in more Soundcore speakers, they've got a ton of them. So check out this video right here. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Stay picky, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.